Welcome back to Module 2. In this video, we are leaving the high-level career talk behind and getting into the dirt. We are talking about the hard skills. Automation often feels like magic to people on the outside. Robots moving by themselves, conveyors sorting packages at lightning speed. But it isn't magic. It is just physics and logic. To do this job, you need a toolkit. And I don't just mean physical screwdrivers and wire strippers, although you need those too. I mean a mental toolkit. You need to understand how electricity behaves, how hardware communicates, and how to read the instructions. These are the non-negotiables. You cannot fake this. If you try to troubleshoot a machine without these fundamentals, you are just guessing. And in this industry, guessing gets people hurt. So let's build your foundation. It all starts with electricity. You need to be comfortable with two different worlds. First, there is high voltage AC, usually 120, 240, or 480 volts. This is the muscle. It powers the motors and the drives. Then there is low voltage DC, usually 24 volts. This is the nervous system. It powers the sensors and the controls. Your primary weapon in both of these worlds is the digital multimeter. I cannot stress this enough. If you cannot use a multimeter, you are not a technician. You need to know how to measure voltage to see if a power supply is dead. You need to check resistance to see if a heating element is burnt out. And you need to use the continuity beep function to trace broken wires. Buying a fluke meter and learning to trust it is the first step in your troubleshooting journey. Next, you need to learn the language of the machine. Electrical schematics. When a machine is down and the pressure is on, you don't look at the machine, you look at the prints. A schematic is a map. It tells you exactly where every wire goes, from page 1 to page 50. You need to be able to look at a symbol, like a circle with a letter M or a set of parallel lines, and instantly know that is a motor starter, or that is a relay contact. Beginners are often intimidated by huge drawing packages. Don't be. It's just a series of simple circuits connected together. If you can trace a line on a piece of paper with your finger, you can trace a wire in a factory. This skill alone separates the operators from the technicians. Now let's talk about the hardware, the things that actually do the work. You'll be dealing with motors and the devices that control them, called variable frequency drives or VFDs. You need to understand how a VFD takes power and changes the frequency to speed up or slow down a conveyor. Then you have the inputs, the sensors. You need to know the difference between a photoelectric eye, which uses a beam of light to see a box, and an inductive proximity switch, which uses a magnetic field to detect metal. These are the eyes and hands of the machine. If the PLC is the brain, these sensors are the nerves. If a sensor is dirty or misaligned, the whole machine stops. Knowing how to identify, mount, and adjust these sensors is 50% of your daily life. I want to take a full minute to talk about one specific concept that trips up almost every single beginner: PNP versus NPN sensors. This refers to how the sensor switches the electricity. A PNP sensor is sourcing. That means when it activates, it sends the positive 24 volts down the wire to the PLC. Think P for positive. An NPN sensor is sinking. When it activates, it connects the wire to the ground or negative side. Think N for negative. Here is why this matters. If you buy the wrong replacement sensor, say you put an NPN sensor on a PNP input card, it will not work. Worst case, you could create a short circuit and fry the input module. Always check the part number in the data sheet before you wire it in. Finally, let's talk about craftsmanship. Look at the image on the screen. On the left is a nightmare. This is what happens when technicians are lazy, rushed, or untrained. Wires are hanging loose, nothing is labeled, and the wire ducts are missing covers. Troubleshooting this cabinet takes hours because you can't find anything. On the right is the standard. This is professional work. Notice the wire labels on every single termination. Notice the neat organization. When you walk up to a cabinet like this, you can fix the problem in minutes because the layout makes sense. As you enter this field, I want you to adopt a rule. Always leave the cabinet better than you found it. Your reputation is built on your craftsmanship. Be the guy who builds the cabinet on the right. We are just getting started. This roadmap is a system, and you need all 5 parts to make it work. Don't stop now. The next module is ready for you right here on the screen. Click it, keep the momentum going, and I'll see you in the next video.